Welcome to the Cotton Club Radio. I'm your host, Cotton Club. Today's conversation, family, is going to be a very, very, very good conversation. The topic of our discussion is going to be called, This is to the Diaspora. Why you are not FBA, African American, or Black American. I'm going to say it again, family, for people who did not hear me. For the Diaspora, this is why you are not FBA, you are not African American, and you are not Black American. Many of you might say, well, Cotton Club, that's an obvious one. I mean, the distinction is, the line is drawn in the sand. Everyone knows that. I'm going to tell you, family, everyone don't know that. There's a lot of first and second generation immigrants who act like they don't know that. I was watching a episode of Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to that brother. Much respect for that brother. And there was a Caribbean woman on one of his segments. She was actually Jamaican and white, NYT. And Tariq was talking to her, and, woman seemed to be, standoffish or whatever, many Caribbean people are. And she said something real interesting, family, that made me feel like I had to do this podcast. I had to talk about this subject because she said the way she was talking to Tariq was in a way that she wasn't drawing a distinction of being Black American or being FBA or being African American. She was just doing the flat black thing. But when Tariq said, well, where you from? She let it be known that she was Jamaican and YT. But when she went to talk about Black American issues, she used a lot of we and us. And I thought that was interesting, family, because that type of mentality that love to separate themselves when they want to, but want to include themselves when they want to, that seems to be the first gen, second gen immigrant. That's them, family. They love to separate themselves when it benefits them. But they also love to be inclusive and call themselves Black American or African American when they feel it's necessary. And that blew my mind. I couldn't believe it because being a Black American, I've always known the distinctions of the diaspora. Not because I was so anxious to say I was Black American, because they made the distinction. They always made the distinction. We have to understand that they act like we was born yesterday. I grew up around a lot of Caribbean people. I got a lot of love for Caribbean people. But one thing about Caribbean people is they're very, very, very nationalistic. They wear their nationalism on their sleeve, hard body. And they're very, very fickle about people who are not Caribbean. You understand? And I've always been the American around the Caribbean. And I've always been a proud Black American because I come from a Black American heritage. My family is Black American. I ain't never want to be nothing else. Our culture is very vast. You understand? No matter how people try to downplay it, they know our culture is number one. Or they know our culture is the ish. But I said, growing up around Caribbeans, I've always learned that they're very, very, very hypersensitive about their culture. I'll tell you a story, family. I remember one time I was dating a Caribbean girl. And this is just a point of how hypersensitive they are about their culture. And I remember one time we was just chopping it up. And I started fake talking patois. Yeah, Cotton Club started fake talking patois. Right? And she got so goddamn offended, man. She got offended. She didn't like that. She thought I was disrespecting her culture because I was just playing with her, but I was fake talking patois. So I say that to say, family, I get offended when a lot of these Caribbeans, first, second gen, call themselves Black American. I get offended when first, second gen immigrants call themselves African American, even though I don't use the term. But it's a term designated for American Negro freedmen or American Indian, right? I get offended when they use these terms or they try to use the term FBA or play dumb like they don't know what a FBA is, a foundational Black American. That offends me, family, because I look at that the way, oh girl, looked at how I was playing around with the patois. She didn't like that shit. She didn't like it. She thought I was being, don't do that. That's not how it goes. She got real sensitive when I started playing with her culture. So why people want to play with our culture, B? Why people want to play with our culture? Why people think that it's okay to denigrate our culture by cosplaying our culture? Another thing, for the people, why you're not, for the diaspora, why you're not FBA. A lot of them like to play games. What is an FBA? A foundational black? Let me tell you something. What is a Jamaican? Can I keep it real, family? Can I keep it funky? If people want to play that game, what's a Jamaican? From my knowledge, a Jamaican is a person with heritage in Jamaica. A Jamaican is a mix of some Carib Indians, some Africans brought into that area, some Indians moving into that area, and some YTs moving into that area. All of that mixture created what we know to be Jamaicans. I know what a Jamaican is. So when people try to downplay what a foundational black American is, or try to act like a Jamaican can be a foundational black American, that insults me. Jamaican, you can't be a foundational black American because you don't share heritage in this country. You don't descend from American freedmen. You are not the origins of this story. Your admixture is not my admixture. My family is from Mississippi, Biloxi, Mississippi. They got Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Cherokee on that line. That's my mom's side. Grandma used to tell me all the time, beautiful grandma, I love my grandmama. And she made a point to let me know who the hell I was. She told me straight up, we Cherokee. My grandma ain't saying we even know African. None of that. On my pop's side, they Gullah Geechee. Two beautiful cultures grounded here in these United States of America. You ain't gonna find no Gullah Geechees in Jamaica. Okay? That's here. So we have to be clear when we're drawing distinctions. There's no disrespect, but we're not going to do the lineage swapping and we're not going to do the cosplaying. So no, Jamaican, you can't be a foundational black American. And guess what? You can't be an African American neither. Let me explain. The term, and this is a good one because I've heard many people, there's a rumor going around saying that African American was a term that was widely accepted by black Americans in the 17th century. That's a goddamn lie. They found the term African American in one woman's journal. All right? That's it. That term was not widely accepted by any goddamn body. So that's a lie. That term African American was not widely accepted by black people. The term was popularized by Jesse Jackson in 1980. Okay? It was popularized. And he popularized it because he and the DNC decided that they wanted to make the black American equivalent to an immigrant. Hands down, that's the end of it. So no, Jamaican, no disrespect, got love for you, brother, but you're not an African American. That's for my people. And listen, family, we're not even using that term anymore. That's a dead term, but they can't have it. No, you can't have it. And to the diaspora, you damn sure can't be a black American. You can't be a black American. This is why. To the Haitians, got love for you, but you're a Haitian. To the Dominicans, got love for you, but you're Dominican. To the Jamaicans, Dominicans, Barbadians, all of the beautiful people in the Caribbean, much love for you. But you have your origin story. That doesn't derive in America. A black American came from here. That title, that name, that understanding, that reality, that history comes from here. That comes from the root in America, in this country. The black American, the African American, the foundational black American, that comes from here. All of those identities are one identity. and they all derive from American freedmen and American Indian. You can't be, and I don't apologize. So now that we understand to the diaspora that why you can't be a FBA, African American, and Black American, let's go a little deeper. Because when I told you about the story about the woman who was on Tariq's Nasheed Live, the Jamaican and YT woman, they started talking about reparations. And her position on reparations was a lot of we and us and we don't and we should. And shout out to Tariq because he corrected her ass real quick. Hold on, lady. You're YT and Jamaican. You're not included in my reparations, our reparations, foundational Black American reparations. And then she started to get upset. She started to get rude. She started to get offended. See, this is the problem that I have with a lot of folks in the diaspora when we talk about foundational Black American reparations. Every time we talk about it being lineage based, they start getting offended. But at the same time, they love to say, why do you guys even want reparations? Why don't you pull yourself up by your bootstraps? I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime. You'll never get it. They always got that defeated mentality. You peep that, family? Always peep the defeated mentality with a lot of foreigners. How in one instance, they'll talk about us and we need this and we need that. But in the other instance, they'll talk about how, it ain't never really going to happen. That defeated ass mentality. That's why you can't be Black American. That's why you can't be foundational Black American. That's why you can't be an African American, because your ass got a defeated mentality. We don't have that defeated mentality. You understand? Yeah, there were a few Negroes on the plantation. When some of us were trying to run away, they were saying, hey, I don't think you should be doing that. But then there were some other Negroes that said, man, shut the hell up, man. We getting up off this joint. You understand? So we don't do the defeated mentality thing. You want a defeated mentality? You walk that way. Don't come around me. And another thing for the diaspora, shout out to you. We love you. But you can't be foundational Black American. And you can't be Black American, and your ass can't be African American. You know why? Every time we bring up reparations, you know what y'all talking about? You know what y'all saying? Why are you begging the YT man? See that right there? Nah. See, if you was Black American, foundational Black American, or even African American, you would know that reparations is a debt. We ain't nobody begging nobody for nothing. We're coming to collect a debt that is due to our ancestors for 400 goddamn years of free labor. You understand? Free labor that made this country a country. Free labor that made all of these wealth gaps that everybody knows about, nobody's blind to, but nobody wants to solve. When we see, and that's another thing. Everybody wants to admit the wealth gap. Oh man, this wealth gap, man. And they love bringing up the goddamn numbers too. Oh, for every household, YT Americans are bringing in 180,000, and then Black Americans are bringing in 25,000. They love to talk about it. But when we start bringing up solutions of how to deal with the wealth gap, repair, reparations, etc., everybody is dumbfounded and silent, especially the diaspora. So no, family, diaspora, you can't be foundational Black American. You just can't. And let me be clear. Let's talk to the diaspora. Why is it? Let's be dialectical. For those who don't know, that means let's look at things from both sides, both perspectives. Why don't I get offended when you say you're Jamaican? I say, okay, great. Why don't I get offended when you say you're Haitian? You draw the distinction. You delineate. You say where you're from. I say, great. But when I say I'm foundational Black American, you get upset. You say, what's that? You say, why can't I join? You say, I want a piece of that. Why can you bask in the ambiance of your ethnic identity, but when I talk about mine and why I'm proud, it's downplayed, it's disrespected, and it's treated as a goddamn group that you can join? Foundational Black American ain't a damn group. That's a lineage. Freedmen, and all y'all know it. That's why you're pissed off about it. But the reason why the diaspora can't be a foundational Black American, too many are running and not staying and fighting. Many of your countries, and no disrespect, is in turmoil as we speak. I look at Haiti. Much respect for the Haitians. But Haiti is suffering. But if you go on Instagram, there are a lot of Haitians on Instagram talking about all the greatness of 1804. And I got mad love for 1804. They did great things. Toussaint was great. Dessalines was great. Boukman was great. I love all of those brothers because they laid the smackdown on Napoleon and his army. Oh, they did phenomenal things. They were underestimated. They were treated like some Negroes and not soldiers. They were treated like they were inferior and they didn't have intelligence. And what did they do? They enacted military strategy and figured out a way to put foot to ass. And I appreciate what they did in Haiti. Oh, I appreciate those brothers. But the problem is not enough of y'all staying in Haiti and making Haiti better for Haitians. Too many of y'all is running your asses over here with us and talking mess about us. But loving to get on Instagram and talk about how great Haiti is, but none of y'all asses is in Haiti. That's the problem that I have. I don't appreciate that. Because while you're here with us, with foundational Black Americans, real comfy and cozy with foundational Black Americans, talking about what foundational Black Americans should be doing and what we shouldn't be getting and all of this stuff. Haiti is in turmoil. They got dudes over there called barbecue. That you need to straighten out. That's all I'm saying. Because everybody, when Black Americans start talking about what we need to do, what we need to set up, what we need to arrange for ourselves, everybody got a goddamn opinion. You understand? Everybody got an opinion. But when we look at where they're coming from, it ain't looking good. And that's no disrespect. Black Americans love people repping where they from, because when we rep where we from, we don't want no problem. Don't talk, don't say nothing. Because when you do it, it's all good. We don't have no problem with y'all. When we go to the Caribbean Day parade, we go as in guests. We don't bring no American flag. We ain't trying to be seen, and we know it's not about us. That's the problem with a lot of diaspora. You want to come to our country and make it about you. It ain't about you. You in my homeland. These people love to wave their flag. Man, they wave their flag, man. They wave it from the north to the south, east to the west. They love that flag. But when you mention, will you ever go back and do some activism there and do some work and build the country up? Because that country needs some rebuilding. They got all these excuses. Let me tell you something, family. I'm a foundational Black American on both sides, proud. Wouldn't be nothing else in the world. I am in the countries my ancestors built, defended, strategized, paid taxes in, fought, and got deleted, lynched, etc. And I'm still here. My ancestors worked their A's off, sacrificed so much for the Black world, not just Black Americans, for the Black world. So people can come here and have opportunities. Because you will hear a lot of first and second gen immigrants talk about, oh, these opportunities. We have to get these opportunities. Yeah, it was my ancestors that made those opportunities possible. You understand? So when we talk about reparations, this is personal. This ain't no game. This is personal. So if you're from the diaspora and you don't support foundational Black Americans and our reparations plight, you should be ashamed of yourself. Shame on you. Because your ass ain't going back to Haiti and you ain't going back to Jamaica. And you're real comfy and cozy here. and you got some nerve to talk about what we doing for our forebearers and for our heritage, you should be supporting that 125%. You should never talk down on what we doing, all those goddamn excuses y'all bringing to the table. Oh, do you ever think YT ever gonna give you anything? Why the hell do you care? And they ain't gave us nothing. Everything we got, we fought for. We got deleted for. And we still here. And we ain't asking nobody for nothing. We coming to get what is owed to our ancestors. And if you ain't with it, then you can step. Because the difference between us and them is we fight and they run. And I'm going to keep it real with you, family. I got love for the Jamaican Maroons who in Jamaica, they did what they had to do. They fought for their country. They got deleted for their country so that they could preserve a space for them and their country. That was beautiful. The Maroons in Jamaica, they did that, family. But I look at Jamaica today and all the videos of Jamaicans getting kicked off the beaches in Jamaica. And my heart cries for them because I look at that and I say to myself, all the Jamaicans coming here to the United States, talking about all the opportunities, not near one of them will go back to that country and fight for their goddamn beaches. Because there are Jamaicans in Jamaica right now who can't even go to the beach in their own damn country. And ain't nobody over here, all the Jamaicans over here ain't saying nothing. They ain't going back and fighting the good fight so that their brethren can get their damn asses on the beach and get some water. The Black American, the foundational Black American, stayed, fought to make this country better and to make this country comfy and cozy for everybody else. And one thing is for sure, me, Cotton Club, I ain't gonna let nobody disrespect us. Hell no. So, to the Diaspora, shout out to you. But if you ain't for reparations for foundational Black Americans, and when that time comes, if your ass ain't lined up to make sure that foundational Black Americans get reparations, you can step. And if you are of the Diaspora and you find yourself on a reparations panel, I don't even know how they even allowing this stuff. It blows my mind, family, how a foreigner could be on a reparations panel for foundational Black American reparations. Blows my mind. I don't even know how that's even allowed. But if you find yourself, to the Diaspora, if you find yourself on a reparations panel for foundational Black American reparations, you make sure you vote Lineage base. Because a lot of y'all are sabotaging our reparations by pushing this race-based idiocy. Because you know ain't no reparations going through on no race base. That's unconstitutional and you know it. But many of y'all will do it anyway. Because you rather, but before you see Black Americans get our reparations, you'll throw it to the ash cans of history. You'll wipe it out. You'll sabotage it. And that's the reason why terms like tether was created. We have to define who's who. Not everybody of the Diaspora is a tether, but goddamn it, they exist. So, this is why you can't be a FBA, a African American, though we don't use the term, but you still can't have it, or a Black American.
The king. Love. Let your angels sing. I ain't twisted, this ain't the Henny talking for me. This is literally Malcolm Little talking through me. I ain't possessed, this is just when spirit meets the flesh. And a revolutionary is born, nothing less. It's hard for me to cope with stress. Especially when I see the world much different from the rest. I can't sleep, nightmares, waking up, cold sweat. Wondering if I ever made it, will they do me like the rest? For my black souls who really too upset to rest, so they wander through my dreams. Please tell me what this means.